Imagine waking up in a world without hunger, pain, or old age. A world where the earth itself hands you ripe fruit twice a day, and the sky never threatens storm or drought. According to Hesiod, that world once existed, and it began the moment Cronus seized power from his father. Today, we examine how this so-called Golden Age functioned, why it mattered, and how its first crack set the stage for every tragedy that followed. Cronus's reign starts with symbolism. The sickle that felled Uranus is planted upright on Mount Othrys, its crescent edge pointing at the heavens like a giant clock hand. Ancient poets used this image to explain the birth of measured time. Before Cronus, the universe simply was. After him, it tick-tocked. Around that sundial sickle, the 12 Titans reorganize the cosmos. Hyperion and Theia regulate the circuit of sun and moon, so light follows a steady rhythm. Oceanus and Tethys release endless fresh water, forming the first rivers. Themis writes the earliest divine laws, oaths by sky, earth, and Styx that even gods cannot break. At ground level, humanity appears in its prototype form. Hesiod calls these people the golden race. They till no soil, spin no cloth, forge no weapon. Food grows unbidden, wool never frays, and when they finally die, they do so in painless sleep, their spirits turning into kindly household daemons. Modern scholars link this phase to distant memories of a hunter-gatherer simplicity, but the myth sets it under Cronus to underscore how far the cosmos will eventually fall. While prosperity spreads, the Titans supervise their own domains. Coeus and Phoebe track the sky's polar axis, explaining why constellations rotate. Mnemosyne walks the land reciting place names aloud. In an oral culture, naming equals existence, so she literally fixes geography. Rhea, consort and sister to Cronus, oversees fertility. Under her watch, forests grow at double speed and livestock bear twins without struggle. All of this forms an ecosystem that needs no sacrifice and no prayer. Gods and mortals share open space. But myths rarely leave perfection untouched. Hesiod hints that Cronus is already uneasy because his rulership was founded on a prophecy. One child will overthrow him as he overthrew Uranus. That prophecy comes back to haunt him during the festival celebrating his first daughter, Hestia. As the Titans feast, a single dove lands on the blade of the planted sickle and utters the Greek word phthónos, meaning envy or ill will. Omens like talking birds are standard in archaic literature, but this one strikes Cronus at the core. He reads it as a direct warning that the succession curse has begun. The omen is quickly followed by a cosmic sign. Hyperion reports a blue comet piercing the night sky, a detail preserved in the Scholia to Hesiod and later echoed by Callimachus. Blue comets were viewed as portents of regime change. Cronus now fears that prophecy is not just lingering in the background, it is counting down. His response is ruthless and immediate. When Rhea presents their second child, Demeter, Cronus commits the act that ends the Golden Age. He swallows the infant whole. Greek sources emphasize that gods are immortal and indestructible, so Demeter is not harmed, but the symbolism is unequivocal. Cronus attempts to trap the future inside himself. Ancient audiences would have understood this gesture as the ultimate breach of natural order. Parents nurture, Cronus consumes. From a cosmological viewpoint, that single gulp is the birth of scarcity. Trees still blossom, but their fruit now drops slightly less often. The first grey cloud forms over a distant hill. Mortals, still technically ageless, experience the unfamiliar sensation of worry. Later poets interpret this as the beginning of the end for the golden race, foreshadowing the silver and bronze declines. Rhea is horrified. Unlike Gaia, who forged a weapon and plotted openly, Rhea chooses subterfuge. She visits her mother-in-law Gaia for counsel. Here the myth introduces a second secret alliance. The Earth goddess reluctantly agrees to help Rhea because Cronus's cannibal act violates the balance she tried to establish when she incited his revolt against Uranus. The plan they devise is simple: hide the next child and trick Cronus with a decoy. While Rhea travels south to Crete, Hesiod quietly notes that the ash tree nymphs, the Meliae, watch over mortals. Scholars believe this small aside serves two purposes. It connects the peaceful golden race to the later age of heroes, made from ash trees after the flood, and it signals that even in paradise, groundwork is being laid for future conflicts. The audience is meant to ask, if ash trees are already in the story, how long before bronze weapons appear? Back on Othrys, the Titans sense a shift in Cronus's demeanor. Themis, goddess of law, warns that swallowing children breaks the cosmic etiquette they have only just written. Mnemosyne, memory personified, records each violation in song so it cannot be denied later. These reactions matter because they show that even Cronus's own allies recognize a line has been crossed. The episode uses this to tease the coming split among Titans, some of whom will side with Zeus in the Great War. Before we close, the narrative zooms briefly to Crete. The Dictaean cave is already alive with activity. Curetes, armored youths, practice a thunderous shield dance meant to drown out an infant's cries. Amalthea, the goat, and a swarm of sacred bees prepare endless milk and honey. These details are not random. They foreshadow the resources Zeus will later draw on, and they build viewer curiosity about how a newborn can stay hidden from a paranoid sky king. The final scene returns to Othrys at night. Cronus stands alone in a torchlit hall, staring at the planted sickle. He is not celebrating victory, he is calculating. Shadows cast by the sickle's blade mark the hours until dawn, an image stressing that time, his own domain, is now his enemy. The narrator states matter-of-factly that the next child Rhea bears will shape the future of gods and men alike, and that Cronus has no idea the plan to protect that child is already underway. With that, the Golden Age ends not in apocalyptic fire, but with a single silent heartbeat of doubt. In our next episode, we will follow Rhea to Crete, witness the stone-swaddling deception, and watch as Cronus unknowingly sets the stage for the rise of Zeus. Stay tuned. Paradise has cracked, and prophecy never sleeps.